With interest rates still low, Janet Yellen entering the picture again in the world of the Federal Reserve, and COVID still running rampant, it seems that the suburb home prices are still on the rise. And today we're going to look at 4 key indicators and what they're pointing to, and whether it's a good idea to wait or to make your move now. Today we're going to look at single-family homes in Westchester County and what are they doing and where do I see them going. First up is median sales price, and this is a great indicator of the current trend. And when we look at the chart dating back to 2017, we see a huge run up in price. Clearly, we could see that there's been a huge jump in the median price, but what's even more interesting is that we just ran up another 10,000 from October to November. So right here. And typically November is usually a slower month. So to see this is very interesting. Now, keep in mind that these prices right here, what you're seeing, usually are reflecting what was being paid a few months back. New York is an attorney state. It does take, 2 to 3 months to close a deal. So I would say these prices are based on what people were willing to spend in around August and September. So let's look in comparison to the housing market. Let's go ahead and let's pull up the stock market. So here we have the S&P 500. Okay, we had a little bit of a pullback, but once again, we're on the rise. Let's go ahead. Dow Jones, same thing. We had a bit of a pullback here in October and then just boom right through the roof. And same thing with the NASDAQ. Had that pullback in October and then just boom right through the roof. It's almost like there's not a pandemic going on and that unemployment isn't increasing and that everything is all well and good. So some of these numbers are not making total sense. However, stock market does look further down the line, so I will say that they're looking into the future for the numbers that they're currently hitting. Second up, new listings. So new listings in November finally hit back to what they were right here. So we had February, March 23rd was the big shutdown for us here in Westchester County, and we are just now making it back. So why is this chart so important? Well, if we can see here, let's go ahead and use easy numbers. So let's say at any given month, throughout time, we've been at about 8,500 listings. Well, here in April, we dropped down to 7,687. We went even further in May, and then we slowly made our climb back. Now, the problem here, though, is that we never recouped these listings right here that we normally would have had. And even if I'm going to be conservative and say, okay, let's look at right here, we still lost we lost from March to April, May, June, July, August, if we're going to be conservative. So what is this telling me? Basically, what this is telling me that prices are on the rise and the inventory, which was pretty much low throughout the summer, is now kind of making its way back again. However, because we missed all of those listings, it's still going to take some time to really reach that equilibrium in the market. So based on sales prices, we're seeing an increase. New listings, we're seeing them kind of go back to where they're supposed to be. So I wouldn't say they're on the rise, even though that's what the graph is showing. I would just say they're getting back to normal. Okay, so third graph we're going to go ahead and look at is the pending sales. So how many homes are under contract? Okay, well, let's look. Once again, from that May mark, we've just right through the roof. So again, here's what's going on. We have sales price on the rise. We have the amount of homes for sale decreasing. We have the amount of new listings kind of getting back to normal. And we have the amount of sales going up. Okay? And now, really, this is my fourth indicator that I'm going to go ahead and talk about. And I use this indicator more so to show me what's going on right now. Because statistics, they're kind of in the past, right? Again, New York is an attorney state. Some of these indicators could be 2 to 3 months old just based on the time it takes to go from contract to closing. So what I actually love looking at is I love looking at the fourth indicator, and that is days on market. This is telling me how long does it take for a house to go from live on the market as a brand new listing to under contract. How long? So we could see here, July, we were at roughly 54 days. Right now, we're at 41 days, okay? So let's bring this full circle. Homes are lasting on the market for less time. There's less homes available for sale. We're just now seeing our listing inventory kind of get back to what it's supposed to be, and we're seeing prices on the rise. These are the big four indicators I look at when I'm trying to time the market. Based on these statistics, I'm going to go ahead and say that prices will continue to rise. It's unfortunate, but I do see the market still performing well unless we get some freak storm combination of either rates shooting through the roof, which I don't see happening, especially with Janet Yellen back in the world of the Federal Reserve, and that's why I mentioned that earlier. The second thing that could happen is if COVID completely shuts us down for a lot longer than we were shut down for last year. I could see there being some panic and some FOMO buying in the beginning, so people rushing out of the city trying to get into the houses last minute. But ultimately, if a lot of these sectors go down again and the Fed doesn't have any type of stimulus, because let's face it, they're acting like kids in the sandbox and can't come to an agreement, so the idea of stimulus still looks hopeless. Third thing that could happen, COVID disappears. The vaccines work, we get enough of them, COVID's a thing of the past, people start moving back into the cities, we get less of those people coming out into the suburbs, and then, okay, maybe we can hit an equilibrium market. I don't see any of those happening right now. And by me saying that, that means that I do see prices still continuing to go up. I don't expect, another rocket launch through the moon. But hey, really right now, the key indicators are all about COVID-19, the vaccines, stimulus, and what the buyers are doing in terms of living in the cities or moving out to the suburbs. So we have a lot of things that we normally wouldn't have in a regular market to focus on. Is it the right time to buy? Well, I'll tell you this. If you're looking for a sweet deal, it's not the right time to buy for you. If you're somebody who's outgrown their space and they need additional space, well, it's a good time to buy for you. If you live in the city and you don't want to be in the city anymore and you want to come out to the suburbs, and that's what you need in order to get back on track in your life and really get rid of a lot of that stress of being locked up, then yeah, I think it's an excellent time to buy. So there's no such thing as it's the right time to buy or it's the bad time to buy. Hey, if you need to buy, then it's the right time. That's what it comes down to. I hear this nonsense all the time. Oh, wait until December, houses typically are less, or wait until the summer, there's more inventory available. Yeah, man, well, if you wait and you keep on waiting, then that's all you're going to do. You're going to keep on waiting. So these statistics, they're based on Westchester County as a whole. Now, just because the county as a whole is going up in price doesn't mean the type of house that you're looking for is going to do the same thing. Keep in mind, the NASDAQ has a bunch of stocks in it. It's an index. And what ends up happening is just because the NASDAQ is up doesn't mean Apple is going to be up. So again, hyperlocal stats, that's going to be the best indicator for you. And stop listening to people who think they know best and it's not a good time or it is a good time, or do your own due diligence and base your buying off your needs and base it off your financial situation and your family's needs. You don't want to overextend yourself just for fear of missing out. Make sure it's an educated purchase. So it'll be interesting to see next month with the sales report. I'm Jimmy O'Done, and this is Westchester Sales.